Well, hello. This is so crazy. Probably everybody who's ever recorded a video ever feels like this. I'm not sure where to look. I think it's over here. Obviously super novice at this. I have been watching a ton of Booktube over the last few weeks and been loving it and thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw something out there. However, I live in a very packed house where real estate is a premium and it's never quiet in there, so I thought I would do it in the car. And this might be a little weird because I should probably do it in my driveway. However, I've decided that I would do it while I was visiting the library because it's books and why not. So on Fridays I volunteer at my grandson, because I'm a little old, my grandson's school library. He's in first grade and I love that. And I also love, my city has a wonderful library. Love it so much. I've been a huge fan of libraries since I was a little bitty kid, lived in different cities, and this one is certainly my favorite. I love it. They're great. So this year is kind of the year of books for me. I have a trip coming up with my best friend here in a couple of months. She is a fabulous author. Her name is Ingrid Seymour. She has written lots of fantasy, sci-fi, young adult. Now she's moved into what I think is new adult genre. So that is amazing. She has written over 50 books, and I have been kind of on the sidelines of the writing world, watching her over the last 18 years do all this writing greatness. And in the very beginning, we had started going to a write club together, and I had given her a book of Stephen King's On Writing, which was a book that I had loved. And actually pretty early on in the write club, somebody came and talked to us and they're like, oh yeah, but you got to be prepared to do a bunch of marketing, and actually, only a little bit of your time will be spent writing. And that kind of broke my heart a little bit in my brain. I would love to be an author that's just kind of sitting in a cabin somewhere in the woods, but I guess that's probably most authors' dream. So, but that's okay. I still love words. I love writing short stuff. But more than all that, I love reading. So this year we are going to this 20 for 50, I think it's called, in Sevilla, Spain in March. So I'm trying to ramp up. Like, this year is all about all the book goodness for me. So I'm all about all the books. So I decided I was going to write a middle grade fantasy book because I love fantasy is my favorite genre, and I love middle grade because it's I don't know, I feel like at least most of the middle grade fantasy that I have been fortunate enough to read has a good story to it, like a thread of something meaningful that I walk away with, and there's not a lot of super dark grit and grunge and graphical stuff of any kind. And a lot of times that's what I want in my life. I'm a 3-year-old at heart. So not to say that I haven't read lots of great fantasy over the time. I this is quite rambly, isn't it? That's all right. Maybe we'll get better at this. I mean, it's probably like, is anybody gonna watch this beginning? Nah, it's fine. So I guess fantasy loves, of course, I love The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings from my childhood. My Harry Potter, because I've got a few decades on when Harry Potter came out, was Narnia. So when I was in 2nd grade, I had a librarian read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that completely changed my world. So love libraries, love librarians, and love fantasy from that time forward. Spent much of my youth trying to find my doorway into Narnia. Still looking. It's out there somewhere. I'll find it. So I think I'm going to continue reading a bunch of middle grade stuff this year and see if I can't churn out a book, because it has been recorded that I said I would have a first draft done before we go to Sevilla. And I'm finding that's hard. That's like when you drive a car And you're like, I kind of know how that works. There's an engine up there, and you know the door is open, and you've got a wheel right here that you can use, and there's tires there. But then when you got to start putting all that stuff together, it's like, you know, I mean, vague idea of plot and everything, but dialogue, man, that's some hard stuff. So when I went into the book, I'd love to go into books. When I went into the library today, well, this morning, my grandson's librarian suggested that I read Echo, and that was actually because I was talking about audiobooks, and I'm actually not a fan of listening to fiction audiobooks. I've been told this because I just haven't found the right ones, and it's not that I don't like them at all, I just don't get as immersed into the story. Now that could also be because if I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm also driving, or well, it's usually driving, but I'm doing something else, so I'm not fully listening. But I think I also like to just pause when I'm reading a physical book, and I do. I have a Kindle, and I like my Kindle too, especially for like reading it at night. But I love a physical book. I love it. I just love everything about it, and I love library editions with their glossy covers too. Although I have a good sized library at home too that I can maybe show sometime. But so I decided I would get this book and give it a read because she has had great recommendations. So I'm gonna read this one. It's a pretty good book. This is Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it says author of Esperanza Rising, which I have read and really enjoyed, and The Dreamer, which I have not. And then I thought, well, I need something else, and I kind of looked at the I usually get 3 at a time when I go to the library. Maybe that's because I just like 3s, and we get them checked out for 3 weeks, even though I come back more often. I'm at the library every week. So I thought, well, I'll get a couple others, and I looked in the new fantasy section and went through the regular fantasy section, and I thought, no, I'm going to try to stay with middle grade so I can kind of pay attention to what's going on there and maybe study a bit for my craft. So I thought I would get some books by the same author that I could look at, and one that's very popular, an author that's very popular at the elementary school that I go to is Catherine Applegate. So I got 4 books, and I'm just going to read them all and see what I think about them. I don't know much about any of them, but so we have Crenshaw, but they have animals in them, and I do love animals, so this should be pretty cute. So we got Crenshaw. Oh, you know, doesn't she also have the Ivan, the other? Or so maybe her most popular one is not even in this set. And then I got Wish Tree. Oh yeah, author of The One and Only Ivan. But they did not have that one. So Wish Tree. Very cute cover. Got some owls in there. I love an owl. Otter, which I think is a new one. So there was a kiddo asking about this book in my grandson's library this morning, which is probably what put her in my mind. And Willowdean, which I don't even know what this critter is. It's like a bear with fairy wings, and maybe it's, I don't know, but I'm very intrigued. Looks very cute. So I'm going to check out these books, and I have this idea of like trying to make notes of the characters and the setting and dialogue. So next time I check in, I'll let you know how I got on with my 4 Catherine Applegates and Echo. And if you're still watching this, thanks. That's pretty great. I don't know what I'm doing, and I have thought for years about putting some stuff together, and I can't ever seem to figure out how to get it right. And maybe I'll get some editing done at some point. I have edited some videos in the past, and I do enjoy that process, but right now I'm thinking, you know, lowest friction. Just gonna record a thing in the car. I'm just gonna put it up, and then we'll see what happens. So if you'd like to say hello, I would love that. If you've got any suggestions on, you know, life, anything, just let me know. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye. I'm Mimi Whimsy. All right, this is a test video to see what it sounds like with me talking in the car. Pretty crazy. Probably dust that.